I find it astonishing just how much people on Twitter believe what's on the television. Because the first time I heard about Will Smith spanking Chris Rock, the first thing that I thought is like, okay, are the Oscars doing this to raise their ratings? I mean, they wanted to get Zelensky on. Like, they're desperate for ratings. No one is watching them. So why would you be shocked if this was staged? And you have people on Twitter, oh, the conspiracy theories. Like, honestly, these people, they're actors. They're acting. Why would it be a conspiracy theory? I just like, conspiracy theory is literally, I want to believe. Like, no, like, think about it. Whenever, like, someone just doesn't want to look into an event and analyze it with a critical mind, like, they use the word conspiracy, like, stop talking about it. I don't care. Okay? I like believing. The television tells me to. The television makes it easy for me. My brain, no worky. It's hard when I think. So I love my television. Like, my television does the thinking for me. Now, were they acting? Was the slap real? I don't know, but we can use some critical thinking. We can look at the video and judge for ourselves if this was like WW wrestling. By the way, I remember when I was a kid in high school, it was the same thing. Like, I came there and I said, look, the wrestling looks kind of fake to me. It doesn't look real. And the school bully got violent because he wanted to believe. Like, the television told him the truth. So let's look at the arguments and see why this might be real versus why this might be false. We got Chris here. He's making the jokes. And then you can see that Will Smith is laughing at the joke. However, as he looks towards his wife and sees the expression on her face, this is when he actually gets angry. And this is where he goes towards Chris Rock. And all of this is leading me to believe that it is not staged. Now, other people will say, well, they're professional actors, so that's why it's so elaborate. Because they're trying to convince their colleagues, like their fellow actors, that it's real. So, okay, I can see that argument being made. But as we look to the video, this is what happens after the slap. You see Will Smith having this grin on his face. And this would lead me to believe that it is staged. So this is a point towards the staging process. You know, we have a point against and now we have a point forward. And some people point out that, okay, well, when Will is coming here, you can see Chris Rock leading in as if he knows something will happen, so he's leading in. I think the reason he is doing this is because he thought that Will just wants to whisper something or tell him something. Like, he probably didn't expect that he's going to get hit. So, this is not an evidence of anything. I mean, this is probably normal behavior, because I'm thinking, like, if I'm on stage there, and I make jokes about someone, and that person is coming up to me, especially if it's in public, on camera, at a big event, I wouldn't expect that person to hit me. I would just, you know, like, lean in, like, well, is he going to whisper something to me? Is he going to tell me something? Right? So I definitely wouldn't expect a slap. So this is fine. Like, I don't think it's evidence of anything. But the reason that I 100% believe that the slap was real and not just for the ratings is that this is the after picture. So on the left, you have Chris Rock after getting hit. And on the right, you have Will Smith after doing the hitting. Like, I have never seen in my life a man hit someone else and then he is the one crying and the other person is the one laughing. I mean, don't get me wrong. From my understanding, Mr. Rock is not a very tall gentleman. Like, he's actually very short. So Will Smith had the element of surprise. He had the advantage. He had the opportunity to run up and sucker slapped. And not only that, but Chris Rock is still standing, he's smiling. And Will Smith is now sitting down and crying. So I do think it's real. Honestly, I do think it's real. But with that said, I would understand why someone does think that it's fake. Because it's very close. I mean, you have arguments for the fact that it's fake, and you have arguments that it's not. So, I don't know. But what I do know is that more people watched the slap than they watched the actual Oscars. And secondly, like, another reason that makes me believe that it's real, this is going to damage Will Smith's reputation. I mean, right now, it's not. But you're going to see, I mean, I already seen, and I'll make another video, and I'll show you, like, what do the feminists have to say, and how he's now a symbol of toxic masculinity, and blah, blah, blah. And there's people, like, saying that the Oscar should be taken away from him, and all of that. So I genuinely think that if I was an actor in Hollywood, and someone came up to me and said, hey, I want you to do this. Like, I want you to go on stage and smack the comedian. Okay, it's not for real. Like, you just have to pretend. But if no one else is in on the joke, like if people believe it's real, that's some career ruining shit, man. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, I don't care how much you pay me. You're not going to be able to pay me more than I can make from having jobs in movies, and like, his entire career is going to be marked by this. You know, it was supposed to be the highest night in his life because he always wanted to get an Oscar. And instead, it's going to be the lowest night in his life because of this. Because everyone is going to remember Will Smith the bully. You know, Will Smith who can't take a joke. Will Smith who lost his shit. And now people are going to speculate. It's like, okay, but if he loses his shit in public at the Oscars, like, how is he in private? Right? So, like, it's not good. It's really not good. And when you add the fact that now people have looked into his personal relationship with his wife more and found out that she cheated on him, and like, all of these things put together, if it was actually him acting and it was a ploy done by the Oscars in order to get some views, then I don't know, like, he was very dumb for taking it, honestly. Like, there is no coming back from this. And you're going to see that in the future, people are going to distance themselves from him. And it's not going to be easy to be Will Smith. But whatever, you know. I'll make another video where I talk about how the progressives react to this, because it's very interesting. And I hope you guys check that out. Oh, and by the way, someone also raised a good point. Like, if they just wanted to get ratings, instead of going for violence that could ruin an actor's career, they could have just had two straight men kissing or something like that. And that would have been in every single newspaper. It would have gotten the same amount of clicks. And it would have been more in line with the progressive marketing strategy that we keep seeing. Like, you could have two men kissing, and then the newspapers make a big deal out of it. And then they will say, oh, anyone that doesn't like it is because they're bigots and blah, 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 blah. Like, that would have been a lot more progressive than what we saw here. So I do tend to think that it's real. But all of the people surrounding it are now trying to market this. I mean, make no mistake, right? Like, the media wants to show this. They want you to click on it. They want you to engage with it so that they can get money out of it. The Oscars themselves are probably happy that it happened because, like, now a lot of people are going to watch it and they're going to, you know, raise their audience. I mean, the level of bullshit. I made a video on my secondary channel on Lack of Entertainment where I say that the Oscars pretend to condemn this, saying that they don't stand for any kind of violence. Like, they are lying to your face. Because, number one, how many movies aren't action movies that they have violence in it? And the Oscars say, oh, we don't stand for any kind of violence. Well, that's fictional violence and you stand for it. That's a lot of the movies that go onto the Oscars. And secondly, if they literally don't stand for it, they could have just got security to escort Will Smith out. Because, you know, like, my university doesn't stand for violence. If a student would slap a professor, like, that's it. You know, like, the security would come in, they would escort the student out, there would be no more conversation about it. And I don't mind that Will Smith got his prize or whatever, but you saw that all of the other actors were cheering him on and they were clapping. Why were they clapping? Like, if they don't stand for violence, it's like, okay, just get your prize and shut the fuck up. You got no more room to talk. Like, we don't care. You know, sure, the prize is for being a good actor. Take the prize and go away. You're a bad person. But that's not what they did, right? So, because they like the ratings. They like the publicity. They like the attention. They like the spotlight. And I'll make another video where I get to talk about it. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.